This is Friday to Friday, your weekly wrap up, going through our favorite releases in rap and hip hop. My name is Jacob. I'm a mixing and mastering engineer from California and your host for today. And I have with me producer hailing from Detroit, Michigan, Gav, aka Lunar G.
What up, what up?
Next, I have artist, producer, and DJ hailing from the Twin Cities, Minnesota, Terry V.
Yo, what's up? Good to be back.
Before we get into talking about our favorites from this week, here's the full list of projects released. We got 38 Spesh with 8 Shots, Lotto with Big Mama, K-Camp with Giant, Scrim with Runaway, Monday Night and Evidence with Football, Young M.A with Kween, Rucci with Norfside Story, Fetty P. Franklin with Bet the Bank on Frank, J Vino and Free Party with Look We're Flying, Pee Wee Longway with Indo, Ninth Wonder, Jada and Saya with the Zenith, Young Chris and Made in Tio with Made in Philly, R3 to Chillman with Bling Bling Boy 2, All Black and Juice Lee with If 16 Was a Letter, Poser with Crossroads, Wakai and Luke McKenzie with Brief Laughs, Godfather Don and Parental with Redo Genesis, Sylvan LaCue with Hoarding, Pouya with Foreverglades, Norman Sann with The Monsters They Made, and Peso with Bastard Child. Let's get into our favorites from this week. I just want to start off by saying we have our Friday to Friday playlist of all the stuff that we cover from that week's releases. This week, it was almost 10 hours long, largely because of the fascinating 3-hour album from Scrim, producer and rapper from Suicide Boys. We're going to talk about his project Runaway, 3 hours and 59 songs. I didn't know this, but I learned that his label is called G59 Records. So that's why there was 59 songs. He's aiming for that on purpose. Yep. And apparently, I read that he tweeted he made all of this music in 2026, which is even more insane. 3-hour album that he made in the first half of the year. I appreciate that it's not 3 hours of just like random short little demos. They're actually fully fleshed out songs. And they're, they don't sound like demos. They're well mixed and mastered. And this dude's just been crazy busy.
Okay.
Yeah, and I mean, if you kept up with Suicide Boys history at all, I mean, they used to drop like 12 song EPs, like 3-4 of them every couple months. Like, I'm not surprised to see Scrim do this. It is surprising to see it all in one place, like all one album, all at one time. Stuff that he's been doing, going through, getting sober, like stuff like that. I can imagine there's a lot of time on his hands and shit. So yeah, I'm not surprised to see like that this all came out, but it is super, super sick. I didn't get to finish all of it. I got through like more than half of it, but I'm excited to go through this one with kind of like a fine-tooth comb and really, really pick it apart.
Yeah, and it does kind of hinge on how willing you are as a fan to dive through all of it. But, only certain fans are really going to listen through the whole thing multiple times and find their favorites. And then there's these Shia LaBeouf interviews throughout talking about his mutual feelings of being a runaway, kind of this theme of taking these runaway adventures. And standout tracks for me were Fort Wayne, Country Boy, Freestyle, Calabasas, Baptized in Ash, and then Dirty Realism. The second half in particular is insane. I went through this a few times, ended up playlisting like 20 songs, so it was a lot to go through, but there's a full album worth of like amazing music in there. So shit, I really liked it. It seems like he just decided to not curate it and he just wanted to basically release like everything he made in the last 6 months, which is just interesting.
Yeah.
Okay.
I'm a pretty big Suicide Boys fan, like followed their career for a long time, but that being said, I still didn't get through the whole album. So
yeah, even big fans, it's going to take them a while to really digest the whole thing for what it is.
And that's one of the reasons why I didn't want to rush through it, for the pod to listen to it, but I wanted to give it its just due. I want to just quickly digest it and then just come in with something. Yeah.
Right. Yes. We'd like to actually have real takes on this shit. We don't just talk about shit for no reason on this podcast. So good point. Last thing I wanted to point out was just that I heard some like, oh, he's just doing what Drake was doing. But we talked about the fact that this was a 59 song album weeks ago, way before we knew that Drake had 3 albums in one day. So this has nothing to do with that.
Yeah. Not to mention he owns this label, so he's not trying to get out of shit.
Yeah.
Like
he just
G59 is his and his cousins. So
I hate that discourse right now on the internet. It's a lot of fanboys kind of not necessarily ruining music, because you can still enjoy it on a personal level, but just to like discuss it with other people online, like just what people are doing on the internet is just wild. Like you can't, nobody can appreciate an artist now if it's not up to par with your favorite artist, and you got to find a way to attack other artists and stuff. Like, nah, man, enjoy the music. Sorry, I'll get off
comparison culture.
No, it's art, bro. I agree.
Anyways, so that was Scrim with Runaway. Next, let's talk about Pouya with Foreverglades, a common collaborator with the Suicide Boys. So I didn't get a chance to check this one out, but what did you think, Gav?
I thought this was fucking sweet. I like Pouya a lot. I've seen him a couple times. Like you said, Jacob, he's been doing stuff with Suicide Boys since 2015, 2016. Like, they came up kind of in the same underground era, like same period. I thought this doesn't totally top the South Got Something to Say, which is another one of his albums, but I don't think he'll ever really outdo himself on that one. But this did feel kind of like a throwback to older Pouya. I liked Baby Bone, Florida Baby, and Bloodshot, if I had to pick 3.
Okay, cool. Is he from Florida, do you know?
Yeah.
Okay.
Dade County, Florida boy. Yeah.
Gotcha.
I think one of his albums had like a gator on the front of it and shit.
Nice. That's Pouya with Foreverglades. I want to mention a pretty hype West Coast project that came out this week from Rucci. We got Rucci with Norfside Story. We just talked about Rucci last week, featured on the Big Sad 1900 project, and then he drops a full length next week. Kind of like the Big Sad project from last week. This is some hype West Coast vibes, super fun for bumping in the car. Or maybe that's just because I'm from Cali, I don't know, but this shit goes hard. Standout tracks. Yeah. There's 4 in a row that were just crazy. Get Bracken and Come Back, High Speed Chase, That's My Word featuring Pay Gotti, and then Knock Knock. Those 4 in a row were insane.
Bro, I saved another 4 in a row.
No.
That's crazy.
That is crazy.
Yeah, I swear to God. And it was That's My Word, Knock Knock, some gangsta shit, and a Northside Story. Those were the 4 that I saved.
All right.
That's crazy.
And some gangsta shit is featuring Peso.
Yeah.
I don't listen to a whole lot of West Coast music, but this made me want to fly out there. Like the vibe on this, like the OG funk sound on Northside Story.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
That was pretty funny. That one had like, instead of a hook, a skit of a guy being like scared of Rucci. Like Rucci's going to find him. He's Rucci, like, trying to hide. This guy's going to find me. I owe him money. And that was like, instead of a hook. Dude, it was pretty good.
This project just was fun. Like, I don't know how else to describe it. The presentation of it, like the cover art and shit, just this like, entourage kind of style photo, like
it was very West Coast. It was very West Coast.
Yep. Yeah. One of the tracks I mentioned, High Speed Chase, that's produced by Diego Ave, which I'm a huge fan of his. He does some of the Shoreline Mafia stuff that I'm a really big fan of.
As soon as I saw you say something about this, Jacob, like that you thought this was a heater project or whatever, I was like, I gotta check this out, because I was kind of glazing Rucci on the last episode, so I was like, all right, let me see what he did. Let me see what he did. I was not disappointed.
For sure.
Yeah. No, this sounds good in the car. The run this back while I was in the gym too. Good
shit. That was Rucci with Northside Story. Let's get into some more hip-hop, boom-bap type shit. Let's talk about Monday Night and Evidence with Football. Fully produced by Evidence, who has worked with a lot of well-respected rappers. Monday Night, I was not familiar with, but he's a rapper from Richmond, Virginia, and he's dope. Standout tracks for me were Doubletree, Lighthouse, and Muscle Memory.
This was just all around a fire-ass boom-bap project. Like, production was really, really crispy. I like Evidence already. Same as you, Jacob, wasn't really familiar with Monday Night, but the spaciness, kind of like ambient vibes to it, just real gritty. So I was pleasantly surprised with this one. I didn't know what to expect out of it. I gotta check more of Monday Night out.
Yeah, I agree. Definitely want to check out some more Monday Night now. That's Monday Night and Evidence with Football. Let's talk about some more boom bap with my favorite project from this week, which is Norm and Sann with The Monsters They Made. This is like not even really boom bap. It's beyond that. It uses those roots to do something evolved. Houston, Texas rapper.
Yeah.
He is a producer and an audio engineer. And you can tell because the mix quality is as next level as the songwriting is. Every song is like a sonic treat, perfect beats, perfect vocal takes, just like mastery.
For sure. But I like the overall message in his music too. Like with each song, like he has bangers, but he also has a lot to say, and he's also dropping like gems and nuggets and stuff when he's even talking to the youth. So I like that. I relate to that as an artist. So I love when I hear that from other artists who can give you something dope, but also have something to say too.
Yeah, I completely agree.
That's the perfect way to put it.
I noticed one of the many layers to uncover in this album is him talking about trying to change his sound to make money, and it didn't sit right with his soul, and so he had to reevaluate his music. And you can tell this is a reevaluation, and this is all from the heart. And you know, and just the reflections on the state of hip hop culture and where he cares to exist in that ecosystem. Like, it's all very well thought out.
It's also pretty clean.
Yeah, I don't think there's any cursing on here at all.
First 2 songs are explicit. Not a lot of artists can do that and not sound corny.
Yeah, he made it palatable. Because like you said, a lot of people do go that route. And it didn't come off like super extra preachy. It didn't come off just the introspective and that self-reflection. I think it's key as artists, especially on Back to That Time, when he's talking on Back to That Time. I think it's important for artists to think about the impact. Like, there's nothing wrong with making albums and songs that are fun or you should talk about dumb shit that you do and, shit like that, because you also need something to go outside and dance to and stuff like that. Like, like the Rucci joint. Like, I'm not going to listen to Public Enemy if I'm trying to go to the club. But I think it's important for artists to still have that self-reflection into what you're presenting, what you're putting out.
Yeah.
And this album was dope. This is one of my favorite releases of the week too. I think this made mine, the monsters they made.
I have just a long list of standout tracks. So C'est La Vie, How Do I Move Forward, Overlooked, Might Start a Revolution, What's That Sound, Life Support, Same, Back to That Time. Almost the entire album. I mean, really, it works A to Z, so you can just play. Like, I would recommend definitely just playing the whole album. In fact, just ignore what I just said. Just go listen to the whole album.
I think you should,
yeah, just play it.
Yeah.
Play it all the way through and check it out. He'll have something for you.
It feels like it's progressing, even though he's not telling a continuous story. It just feels like the way that he arranged it just kind of like naturally is as like crescendoing to something. And I do think that Back to That Time is a perfect way to wrap it up, because it does just kind of feel like a whole life in review kind of song. You shouted out What's That Sound, Jacob? And that's another flip of
Wait, what is that sample? Wait, is it that rock song? Again, like, What's That Sound? Everybody knows what's coming around. That one?
That's exactly it. Thank you.
Okay.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes, that's what it's
so that is For What It's Worth by Buffalo Springfield.
Yes, that's exactly what it is.
1966.
Fuck, man, I'm pretty sure it's a movie. It's an old ass song.
Written by Stephen Stills.
It's a classic.
And that song also features J Pats, the What's That Sound song. But yeah, man, great project overall. Definitely excited to keep up with Norman Sann going forward, because big fan at this point. So that's Norman Sann with The Monsters They Made. The next boom bap project, I would say you could call it, is Sylvan LaCue with Hoarding EP. A really impressive flow and wordplay, unique vocal tone and delivery. I liked it a lot.
Yeah.
This project was really sick. I was happy to see him dropping stuff again.
Great sampled sounding beats, like thick layers of real instruments. It's such a laid back listen because the drums are so light. It's a lot of really relaxing beats.
Yeah.
It's pretty chill.
The Don's Address, Seasons Changing. I think those are the big ones for me. Especially on Seasons Changing. It reminded me when he was just talking about like hoarding and the stuff that you're holding on to. Reminded me a lot of like people that I know of, and so I wanted to send this album to them. Like, and I like when I hear music that can relay a message I'm trying to tell somebody. It just makes it easier. Like, hey, you should check this song and kick it around and see how it makes you feel. But yeah, I enjoyed his pen on here, and again, I love artists that are finding their sound and kind of like staying true to their sound versus doing stuff that other artists are doing. Like, not that this hasn't been done before, but I like that. I like the beat selection on this project, and I like the writing. And again, Seasons Changing, I think, was my favorite on this project. And when I saw Mortal Kombat, I was interested to hear like what the song was gonna be like. and it surprisingly wasn't as violent as I thought it was gonna be. But again, his lyricism on his project.
You know, the name of it is Hoarding, and he continues to come back to the theme of hoarding. It lands pretty well as he's sort of questioning why we hold on to the things we hold on to. The theme lands nicely.
Yeah, a dope conceptual project, man.
Yeah. And you said the Dawn Address, I like that one. I also liked very first track, Commitments, caught my attention right away. And then I liked Last of My Heartbreak and Turks.
This dude, I love it, man. Have fun with it, man. Like lean into that. Like that's why we make music, right? It's for these dope moments and these fun moments when you're creating.
I'm glad you guys enjoyed it, and I was able to put you onto him.
Yeah, for sure.
He had one project that was pretty big. Apologies in advance. Other than that, like most of his shit is pretty low key. But yeah, definitely, if you guys are interested, check out Far From Familiar. Good album too.
Okay. Cool. Yep, that's Sylvan LaCue with the Hoarding EP. Cool. So next, let's talk about Ninth Wonder presents JADA and Saya, the Zenith. Okay, so presented by Ninth Wonder, which is what caught my attention. Did some research, and the producer that did this whole album, JADA, is actually Ninth Wonder's daughter. And all the beats are produced by her, no beats produced by Ninth Wonder. But they have that Ninth Wonder energy for sure. She's definitely influenced from her dad, I'd say that. I mean, I like the beats, so nice work. But Saya, the rapper, it's spelled S14H. He's a rapper from Fayetteville, North Carolina, actually, where J. Cole is from. And I did want to talk about his name for a second because it's pretty interesting. It's got some multiple layers to it. So first off, he mentions it's short for Messiah, which, okay, cool. But it's spelled like S14H. But S14H also looks like the word Sith. At first I thought his name must be Sith because the cover art is like a clear Star Wars reference. And then I'm listening to the lyrics and I hear some Star Wars references in the lyrics too. But he's referring to himself as Saya, not as Sith. So it's pronounced Saya, but there's like a hidden Star Wars reference in his name as well that it looks like Sith, and he's clearly doing it on purpose, but it's pronounced Saya. I just thought that was crazy hella layers to his name. I just thought that was ill.
That's awesome. Yeah, I didn't catch that.
Yeah, prior to going to this project, like I was wondering who JADA was, and I heard JADA on the 1s and 2s, so I'm all like, okay, so JADA must be a DJ, and maybe like maybe they're cutting and scratching. So I didn't know until you had told me, you know, JADA's nice daughter, and she did the production for it. And so when I seen it, I was excited because Ninth Wonder's at the top of it. So that's smart. Because it reeled me in. Really good marketing. Like it reeled me in. But then I'm listening to it, I'm all like, yo, I don't know if Ninth. And this is not a dig at JADA because the production is dope, but I come to expect a certain thing from Ninth Wonder. So when I first heard it, I'm like, ooh, Ninth, man. Ninth kind of phone these beats in where these throw. But after hearing what you said, I was able to, like just being honest. And it's not to say that, you know, that she's not good, but when you compare, like if you hear a Dilla beat, someone sends you a Dilla beat or Dilla's name's on it and you find out it's Illa J who made the beat and he's just using his brother Dilla and just kind of like, you know, this is dope, but it's not Dilla-esque. It doesn't have the fingerprint of Dilla. The
beats are good, but they are a little bit like B-tier Ninth Wonder beats, which it's just like she's probably just getting better, you know? She looked really young in her photo on the Spotify, so like no hate, it's just naturally, you know, she's taken after her dad's sound, but she's just not quite there yet, which is to say that she's not one of the best in the world. Because like her dad is like ridiculous. Like how could she even live up to that? So it's a boost to add that onto the title to put presented by Ninth Wonder, but then it's also like sets a super high bar, super high expectation.
And that's what affected my listening taste because I'm listening to it thinking like again because I didn't know the backstory of it. It was just kind of clever that they have JADA and Sith on just the cover art and Ninth Wonder is just on the name when you pull it up on DSPs.
Yeah.
So and that's not to say like she absolutely is going to get better. Like that's just finding your style too. Like in terms of better, like that's finding your style. Your style is your style. It's just when I had that coming into it, I'm all like, okay, this does not sound like the Ninth that I know and love. But listening to Saya's lyrics on here, like I feel like they continue to grow. They got something because it looks like they're gonna do this dual thing back and forth. They continue to lock in. they continue to work and grind at it, I think I think they'll grow, because then it's like we can hear that you can rap. Now it's gonna come down to like building something more conceptually. Building let's get something conceptually instead of like a playlist of songs that you wrote and that that, which there's nothing wrong with, but like as you grow as an artist, that's something I want to see looking forward coming from them.
Yeah, that's fair. I agree.
Yeah, so that does give the album a different listening experience. Once I learned that, okay, this is Nine's daughter, and this is a fairly newer artist, because there's not too much I can find on I think fairly new artist. Right. Nice plug, running with Pop. You got the co-stamp from your dad. I think this, as they work it out, they'll figure it out.
Yeah, and there's some good shit on here. Like I liked, my favorites were Supreme, Golden Sound featuring Murs, which is pretty cool, back and forth over like a soul sample. And then Zenith, the title track that closes out the album, that one's like just extra smooth. Still a lot of good shit on here. I think they just got some room to grow. I think that's fair to say.
Yeah, and it's not a knock too. Like that's one of the beautiful things about her being in that position. Like you can only go up from here.
It's a good position to be in.
For sure.
So yeah, that was Ninth Wonder presents JADA and Saya with the Zenith. Next, let's talk about something a little more trap. Young M.A. with Kween. I like to catch up with Young M.A. She has a unique voice and a unique perspective, so this was a cool listen. She talks about getting sober recently, going to therapy, so you can tell she's just on a good path and still just like coming with some good heaters as well. And with the mix on the Tory Lanez vocals too, it definitely sounds like that's a jail take.
Yeah, I was gonna ask you, our resident engineer, what you would have done different on that Tory Lanez feature, because
take him off of it.
And then like they didn't throw any reverb or anything on his voice or anything to try to mask the jail phone, because then it's all like then it cuts off. Like I hate when that happens because it doesn't sound cohesive. Like it just like bad. I don't.
They should have just pulled that off there. They didn't need that feature, especially on such like a banger of a song. Great beat, great sample, and then he kind of kills it for me,
dude.
Honestly, which is kind of a bummer. But I also really loved Pressure featuring G Herbo. That one was fire.
Yeah, Pressure was fire.
Yes.
Pressure was fire.
Pressure, Still Me, and Guile Them Right. Those were my top three on this one. She's like, I'm still me type shit, like I might have changed, I might have gotten sober, I might have done this, that, but she's just kind of a badass, dude. She's an indie artist.
Yeah, that's the second meaning of Still Freeze. She's talking about still being indie this whole time, which is awesome.
Yeah.
That was really dope. Hearing her talking about her struggles with liquor, with drinking, her going through therapy, like doing the mental health work, like that's big in our community, because like mental health is something that we don't harp on a whole lot, and it's still kind of seen as taboo. Like I don't really need it, but it was really dope to hear her open up on Hennessy Medusa, just talking about like her struggles with liquor. I was surprised. This is my first Young M.A. album that I listened to, like outside of singles and stuff or features that she's done. This is the first full-length project that I listened to, and it was dope. I love to hear the growth. I love to hear the introspectiveness, like the self-reflection. All of that's dope to me. The only one I didn't like all that much was Bang Bang Boogie.
I like that one.
Yeah.
I like that one. I playlisted that one.
I'm on the fence about it.
Yeah.
I think I gotta be partying,
it's Bang
and then
Bang
I'll like
Boogie
it more.
And I think bros.
I'm just saying that because I'm never saying that.
Tacky, it was good, but it felt a little
it's a little
tacky.
corny, but it's so sick the way she's like, I don't need a hook for this to go, and then that's like part of the hook. That's fire.
Well, that
is kind of fire.
I say sonically I can vibe with it, but I just heard Bang Bang Boogie and I'm all like, bro, no, maybe just my dialect, man. Maybe that's just up here, and I'm just all like, I'm like, nah, I've never heard anybody say Bang Bang Boogie, or maybe I just don't got action or motion like that. I'll take that. but outside of that, like again, it was dope. Sonically, I'm rolling. Or coming in the party, I'm rolling. But I don't think I'm gonna be requesting it. But hey, man, now we just gotta start saying it. Just Bang Bang.
Yeah, I don't know. I've never heard it before either. But hey, Young M.A. with Kween, good shit. Well put together album.
Shit. Yeah, good.
Lastly, I just want to talk about one single this week: Vince Staples with Cotton off the upcoming Crybaby coming up June 6th, next week. Very excited about that. We're going to be talking about that full album next week. Every single just getting me more and more excited for the album. Continues to just be sonically very adventurous, more on the rock side. And that's exactly what I want to see, is just Vince doing something new and unique. So super excited.
I'm super excited about this project.
Yeah, that's going to be the big one from next week.
That's the one I'm most excited for.
So that's everything from this week. Let's get into plugs. For me, I mixed a track for DOX and Killian Martin, a couple of talented rappers and singers from Nigeria. Also mixed a track for Dub 7 from Belgium. And then also mixed a track for our very own Terry V. Mixed a single that we are going to be really excited to talk about and show you guys soon, whenever that happens to be.
Yeah.
What about you,
Mr.
Terry?
International, I like it. You know, you gotta make sure you throw that out there, that you international out here, man. I actually just got a couple beats from Lunar G that I'm excited to get working on singles, working on a lot more music to drop. Last week released a remix for White Grapes with Magic King, so you're in the cooking phase, cool. Man. It's feeling good. Yeah, it's feeling good. Starting to cook. Got some heat.
Excellent. Yeah, really excited about all the shit we got cooking up right now that you guys get to hear about over the coming weeks. But for next week's releases, we have Hurricane Wisdom with Weather the World, Lizzo with Bitch, La Tyler with Destined for Greatness, Navy Blue with Surrender, Vince Staples with Crybaby, and Loot with Hard to Reach. Thank you, listeners. Like and subscribe on YouTube. Rate us 5 stars on Spotify and Apple Podcasts. You can follow the podcast on Instagram at Friday to Friday Podcast. You can save the F2F Spotify playlist to follow along with what we're listening to throughout the week. You can find that link in the description. Our intro and outro music by Lunar G. Podcast edited by me, Jacob from Frequency Overflow. Join us every week to stay in tune with hip-hop releases from Friday to Friday. Peace.